I am Dr. Bakshish Singh Sandhu, President Council of Khalistan and Director of Sikh for Justice. And thank you, James, for having me here to talk about our very important topic, that is Khalistan referendum to liberate Punjab from Indian occupation.
Well, thank you for having us. As you know, we've been doing a lot of coverage of the upcoming vote, as well as other issues that are very important to the community.
I'm very impressed that you are basically informing the Sikh community about the issues affecting Sikhs. And I've watched your videos, and they're very informative.
Yeah. And I think that in my goal is to not only inform Sikhs of the issues going on and just giving more background, but also I think it's very important for the Caucasians and everybody else in the community to understand, because I think that more we understand different cultures and different perspectives, the better we are and stronger we are as a community.
That's true. We have the same goal. All the Canadians should know that the Sikhs are peaceful people, and we are trying to hold the referendum, which is legal, peaceful, democratic. But Indian government wants to stop our referendum, and they are criminalizing our efforts to liberate Punjab from Indian occupation by legal means.
Right. And with this vote here, I've heard numbers expected up to 100,000 and maybe more to come out and vote.
We think it'll be much more than that. It may reach 200,000, but we shall see how many people turn out tomorrow. But we think that the people here, they want to not be ruled by India. They don't want to be ruled by India, because it's a country for the Hindus, and they want to impose the Hindu rights and the practice of Hinduism upon all the communities, specifically Sikhs.
Right. And we've seen that with the violence going on in Manipur and other regions of India where they are attacking and going after different groups, including the Sikhs, including Christians, and so forth. So I think that this is a very powerful vote, not only in the results of the vote one way or the other, but also just in the awareness of what's been going on since 1947 with the separation of India, or when you go back to 1984 and the Golden Temple. I think that it's very important for the whole world to be watching what's going on.
That's exactly right. Referendum is a journey to the destination, which is independence of Punjab. But while we are traveling the journey, walking the walk, we are achieving tremendous success. So just like, let's say, Modi's government promulgated farm laws. Those farm laws were not right for the farmers. They may be right for the high officials in the government or big business people, but it's not good for the small farmer. So when the referendum voting took place in London, October 31st, 2021, 3 weeks after that, Modi basically annulled the farm laws, because it was that the Indian intelligence agencies told Modi that this is a threat to security and safety of India. Therefore, the law should be annulled. And he announced that we're going to annul it without having taken a vote in the parliament.
Right. Do you think that at this time, of course, we see Prime Minister Modi is going around the world, whether it's Canada, the United States, and so forth, to expand their trade missions and to increase both imports and exports, to increase the GDP. Do you think that world leaders are missing an opportunity to put pressure on him to respect human rights?
Absolutely right. See, there are two things here. So the foreign countries should know that India cannot be trusted, number one. Number two, India has not been on the side of United States of America. Starting from 1947, India has usually voted not in the favor of United States, but has either abstained or voted for other parties. Similarly, in regionally Israelis issues, India was not supporting the US. And now they think they have a common enemy, Muslims. So now they are buddy system with each other. They get training from each other. So the foreign governments, they think that the Modi can be convinced, but I think miscalculating. I think this is totally off the mark. that India is not going to be basically friendly nation for the United States or the West, because India has own values and they don't give it up. Also, they have a lot of ammunition which is Russian based. So they have lots of stuff which they don't want to basically part with. And the most important thing, the world has litmus test.
Right.
Litmus test says that if Modi's government has abstained from voting more than 13 times in the United Nations vote, then they should understand where India stands.
Right.
But if they are ignoring it, to their own disadvantage.
Right. When you look at the whole event happening here tomorrow, and you've got people coming out, how do you expect for the governments around the world to react with the vote one way or the other in terms of recognizing the importance and the standing of the Sikh community in the results?
That's a good question. We want to bring to the attention of the whole world that Sikhs in droves, very heavy numbers, have come to vote, because they have realized that if they want to get their rights, equal rights, human equality, gender equality, drug menace, they want to end. And the farmers in Punjab, 85% of the Punjab economy is farming. They are committing suicides, and Punjab natural resources are being looted. And India is taking advantage of Punjab water against Indian constitution and the riparian rights. So we are sending a message to the whole world, look, we are holding a referendum. Referendum is a peaceful, democratic and legal process. And we are not what India labels us. So India labels us terrorists, separatists and unpatriotic people. But we are the same people. We have not changed our character, that we liberated India from the Mughals and then from the British. But the India has so quickly forgotten that we are the people who liberated them from about 1,000 years of slavery. And now they want to crush our religion, they want to crush Punjab, they want to make or turn people of Punjab into beggars. So they say, okay, we'll give you wheat, we'll give you corn, we'll give you wheat flour. So give us the votes. But the Punjab economy has gone from here to here. So
Right.
that's not by coincidence. It's a design. So the Indian government plan is, no matter who's in power in Delhi, it's not only Modi, but the Congress party or any other party that will come, they have a same attitude towards people of Punjab and Punjab natural resources, because they benefit tremendously. Let's say, for example, they're taking advantage of Punjab water. So what do? They also take our electricity away. So what do? Sell us coal. So we burn coal to generate electricity. Our clean energy is being taken away without payment. Similarly,
Right.
water they're taking without payment, and they have violated riparian rights. And also, Indian Constitution also says the water. There's basically Indian Constitution says the water belongs to the state in which the water runs. So
Right.
why the riparian right was made? Because riparian right was very good right. Because when the floods come, the people are affected by those floods in their state through
Right.
which the river is running. So then they should have the advantage of water. They can sell their water, but they cannot be forced to give it away. So we want to, that's one issue. There are many other issues. There is a threat to Sikh identity. There by the Sikh identity being basically decimated. They have attacked Sikh religious institutions. And we are saying we want to live in India, but they didn't want to keep us. So
Right.
now, after having exhausted our internal right to self-determination, we say goodbye. We want to secede. We want to separate Punjab from India by secession, as Punjab was an independent country when the Maharaja and these things. That's a separate topic. We can talk about that too if
Yeah,
you want.
yeah, absolutely. And with that said, of course, with the recent floods in India, whether it's the fires in the U.S., fires in Canada, the floods in Abbotsford last year, the Sikh community, and even when I was in Poland covering the refugee crisis last year, the Sikh community has always been there somewhere. I see it very prominent that they are there. They are rolling up their sleeves and helping people in need. And I think that that's something that people also need to remember, is that even in times of struggle, where the floods were happening in India recently, the Sikhs were there helping and not looking at somebody saying, you're this, you're that. You get help, you don't. It was just, we're here to help each other. We're here to help our brothers in humanity.
That's a Sikh character. That's the principle of Sikhism, that the Sikh gurus, over a period of several hundred years, developed the Sikh character, written rule of conduct. Like Hindu religion, they have no written rule of conduct, that this is good, this is not good. So the Sikh idea is to help the needy, work hard, and share your earnings with others. But let me say another thing. See, whenever there is some kind of disaster or any bad event happens, Sikhs bear the brunt. How is that? If there's a war between India and Pakistan, the Sikhs are the soldiers are killed. They're on the front line. If there's a war between India and China, Sikhs are on the front line. The Sikh soldiers are on the front line. They're killed first. If there are floods in Punjab, the people of Punjab suffer. But if there are no floods, the water is being diverted to India. Similarly, if there's a wheat crop, then we feed 400 million people in India. But then India says, no, next year we don't want to buy wheat from Punjab. You know why is that? They want to manipulate the market. Then they say, oh, nobody's buying, so I am willing to sell cheap.
Right.
So if there are no buyers, you cannot charge the high price.
Of course, yeah.
So say they are manipulating. So then they attacked the Golden Temple Amritsar, and that was a manipulation. Not only Golden Temple Amritsar was attacked, but it was they had attacked 37 other gurdwaras, Sikh house of worship. But they said they want to capture Sant Janai Singh Ji and Ramwale. But Sant Janai Singh Ji and Ramwale was not all in all those 37 gurdwaras. They knew that he was there. So this is a very important point which your listeners or watchers should know. Here, the issue of Khalistan has been coming along for more than 200 years.
Right.
So ever since the Sikhs lost their sovereignty in 1849, they want to get it back. So what happened? So after the partition, Indian government had a clandestine design. So they infiltrated into Sikhs and they raised the demand of Khalistan.
Right.
So then they supplied the arms to those people whom they want to raise the issue of Khalistan.
Right.
So what happened? Then Indian government say, oh, you are asking for your rights, therefore you are unpatriotic and you are violating the law, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act.
Right.
So it was 1950, Unlawful Activities Ordinance was published. And then in 1967, Unlawful Activities Ordinance was changed into Unlawful Activities Act.
Right.
Under that act, if you ask for your right, free speech, if you say we want Khalistan, free country, then you are basically criminalized.
Right.
And you're put in jail for several years.
Yeah. And that's one of the foundations, I think, not only with Sikhism, but also with Canadians and Americans and Europeans, is the freedom to be able to express yourself without taking any type of repercussions for that. And I think that that's really important, that people have that right to express their freedom, to have their own personal beliefs. And there's a lot of people, especially online, that I don't agree with, but I have a deep respect for other people's opinions and their beliefs, and I like to listen and learn from them about their different perspectives.
That's very true. Just like when we were holding referendum in Toronto area, the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said that we cannot stop the right of free speech. We cannot referendum because it's expression of right to free speech. Similarly, a member of Parliament of the Canada said, if Sikhs want to express the right to free speech in the form of referendum vote, we cannot stop it. Right. So we are highly grateful to the people of Canada and the politician of Canada who has given us the space and who have given us the privilege of holding the referendum vote here. So it's very magnanimous of the Canadian people and the Canadian politicians that we are holding the referendum, which is having a very forceful impact on India.
Well, it's wonderful. I appreciate you taking time to speak with me today. We'll wrap up here. I'm hoping that I'll see you again. You know, we'll have some more conversations about different topics, but it's been a pleasure and I appreciate you being here.